Hey there, and welcome to the identity portion of this program. These steps are going to help you to make lasting changes that matter in your life in the things that matter the most in your life. By following these steps, you can clear out the debris and the wishes and the assumptions of what it takes to make the changes that you want in your life and ground yourself in the mindset that you really do need. One of the main problems that causes people unnecessary suffering as well as time delay when they are seeking out a goal is looking for shortcuts and looking for hacks, which can end up delaying the goal further. The problem with seeking out shortcuts is that oftentimes it confuses you and spreads your energy in all these different directions. But the reality too is that if you're not consistent with something, it does not work. Instead, it's important to focus on your identity, which is who you aspire to be or who you believe yourself to be already. As Tony Robbins said, the strongest force in human nature is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. All right, so let's get into the steps. The first step is clarifying who you do not want to be. This step is going to help you to clear out what you don't want and make space for what you do want and who you do want to be. Now, in this step, one of the main mistakes that people make is they identify who they don't want to be and how they are that, but then they justify it through the experiences and the trauma and the challenges that they've had, and they basically tell themselves, yeah, but it makes sense that I'm that way. And what happens when you do that is you literally justify yourself staying in that program. So the main thing here is to train your mind to stay away from that conversation and just cut it off right away. As much as you want to justify it, just cut it off right away. What you want to understand is that it is the thoughts, the words, and the actions of that identity that have created the circumstances that you have, whether it is an out of balance nervous system or being sick or being lazy or not having purpose. Whatever it is that you're really working on, it is those thoughts, words, and actions that have created that. So we need to directly and intentionally change that. And that's what this process is about. And this is a lifelong process. It continually is refined. And on that note, I want to clarify this really powerful connection between responsibility and empowerment. If you have responsibility and you take responsibility, that is directly connected and correlated to your empowerment. So keep that in mind throughout your life and throughout this process of identifying and recreating the identity that you are moving into. All right, so step 2 is going to bring clarity to the person you want to be and remove doubt from what that person, how that person shows up, how that person behaves in the world. The main problem that people make, or the main mistake people make when doing this step, is they only know that they want something different. They just want change, but they don't have clear guidelines for what that looks and what that feels like. Okay, in this step, what you're going to do is you're going to go deep into the being that you aspire to be. You can write it down. We're also going to do imagery stuff later on in the program. But for now, conjure up very clearly and with as much detail as possible the thoughts, the words, and the actions of the being that you aspire to be. You can even look at yourself in the past to do this. Maybe you were in a better place then. How does your body look? How does it feel? How do you handle stress? All these different ways. And you're going to deeply conjure that up. And then throughout the day, you're going to, first of all, before we go to that step, you're going to stay with that. Really be embodied in that new identity. The second thing that you're going to do within step 2 is you're going to notice the old thoughts, the old words, and the old action patterns that old identity did, and you're going to flip them and do the opposite the moment that you notice them. So we're creating an awareness of the old way, the old behaviors, and then we're replacing it with a new way and a new behavior. The last part of step 2 is if you don't know how that person would show up in a certain situation, just imagine the person who would handle that situation in the most powerful, empowered, and graceful way, and then do what you think that they would do. Think how you think they would think, and speak how you think that they would speak. If you want to take this practice deeper, you can go to my blog, which will be Mastering Your Mindset, and there will be a link called Neuroimagery Mapping, and that'll take you through steps to go deeper with the imagery. Now for step 3. Step 3 is to stop the debate and take action. This step is going to remove mass amounts of energy waste and suffering that is caused by second guessing what you want. The main mistake that people make in this step is conjuring up how hard it's going to be to take action instead of just taking action. And in the end, they end up spending way more time and energy in the debate than they would have if they would have just cut the debate and cut the mind chatter and went for the action. So this is what we're going to move into. So the first key to step number 1 is to get moving before the debate continues. The sooner that you can get into action, the easier it's going to be to do what you need to do. You must take action. So take action and stop the chatter as soon as possible. All right, and now the second key of step number 3 is to consistently, in your own voice, the voice in your head, which is the most influential voice that you hear all day, is to say, I am that. And I am meaning whatever it is for you, but I am strong, I am capable, I am peaceful, I am powerful, I am playful, I am confident, all the different things. I am trim, whatever it is that you are specifically seeking, and you remind yourself of that. Now, this is the next and very most important part, is when you're doing that, you must ground it in an action, or what you'll learn is called a random act of vitality. A random act of vitality is a short action of vitality. So it's anything from aligning your body, so standing in aligned stillness, or taking a deep breath, or doing some push-ups, or hanging from a tree, or smiling, any of these, but you must ground that identity in action. And I'll leave you with this. As Alex Hormozy said, you do not build confidence by yelling affirmations in the mirror. You build confidence by creating an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. So this is my call to you, is to do the exercise, to get into nature, to train your mind and your thoughts and your words and your actions, so that you are every single day stacking all of those things as proof that you are who you say you are, and that you are in the mindset and the movement who you say you are. And this is an essential part of this program, is grounding the imagery and the mental part of this all, the identity part, in with action. And this is how you create lasting change. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it makes sense to you. And if you have questions, feel free to message me and we'll iron that out.